Bang! Saturday Night Bang. Welcome aboard, everybody. We got a great show tonight. Thanks for everybody being here. Thanks to Rob Farlow, a.k.a. the Stone Sailor. We also have DOCTV 813, a.k.a. Josh. Thanks for being here also.
Yeah, man.
And thanks to everybody in the comment section, all our usual people like Leslie Sylvan and Peanut 411 and Record America. Hey, welcome aboard. Save the Humans. What's up, brother? Conspiracy Media. Hey, I want to let these guys introduce themselves, starting off with Rob and then our special guest. Rob.
Well, Rob Farlow, a.k.a. the Stone Sailor. You guys know I'm the co-host here on this program. It ain't Saturday Night Fever. You understand? It ain't Saturday Night Live. It's Saturday Night Bang.
Hey.
Now sit back, relax, and learn something, Dickie. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead. Tell them who you are. I discovered you.
Yeah, man. What's up? My name is Josh. I got a YouTube channel. It's DOCTV 813. You guys can check it out. Subscribe. I'm here to tell my story, I'm assuming, and I've been to prison, and I changed my life around, and now I'm doing good things in my life, and I try to help other young kids that may be going down that road by sharing my testimony so they can see all the bullshit that's in it, and hopefully they don't want to do that.
And I can testify to him. I had the honor to be on his show twice so far, and I got to meet him in person. And his fiance, he is getting married very soon, ladies. So get your head out of the.
Congratulations, Josh.
Yeah,
I saw that show. That's how I found out about you. Rob told me, "Hey, I'm going to be on this show," and I watched it, and it was incredibly interesting. Like, I've had another former inmate on my show before. He was in prison for 20 some years, and got out. And after a year, he was being remanded back to prison for another 8 or 9 years. They wanted to throw him back in, and that's cruel and unusual punishment. After being out a year and getting engaged, imagine if they told you that right now. You were about to get married, and they're like, not so fast. Come back inside after a year of being out. So,
hey, the feds are doing that to the COVID releases right now, by the way. I just saw that. They're starting to recall them.
Good news is that if you guys, anybody who's watching who did see that, Susan Bassey, it's an honor to have you here. Anybody who's watching and did see that Richard Midkiff story, he did win his freedom. He fought, and the state was trying to overturn an appeal, and they failed. And he kept his freedom. And, the guy's a model prisoner. He also works with helping people out, and I think that's what you do. You do as well, right, Josh?
Yeah, so I try to help people as much as I can. I mean, it all really goes down to they got to want to help themselves in the end of it. You know what I mean? But so I just share different stories. I bring people on my channel that have been to prison, that got out, changed their life, and are doing something positive. And for people that are living that life and might go to prison, I share, what it's like in there. So what they can expect, what goes on, between the gangs, the politics, and just, how hard it is on your family when you're in there. So,
yeah. And one of the main things we focus on my channel is government accountability and government corruption. A lot of First Amendment auditors, Second Amendment auditors. But one thing we also look for is Eighth Amendment violations. That's cruel and unusual punishment. And I'm sure you guys have plenty of stories. You, Rob, seeing it from one side of the bars, and you, Josh, seeing it from the other. And I got to tell you, I just heard something. My neighbor across the street just got out of county jail. He was in there for a DUI, and they starved him. They made him suffer. This jail is corrupt. In the few hours that I was there when I was arrested in February, they put 3 people in the restraint chair. They forgot about them way past the maximum of 2 hours that they're supposed to be in there. And, one girl just threw a piece of paper at somebody, and they put her with a spit mask and everything. Damn. Anyways, I had some questions for you two, Josh.
All right.
As far as like some of the stuff that you've seen in there, I've seen on your show, you talk about, some of the atrocities that happen. Like, I always tell people when I'm auditing outside of a jail, I tell the guards, you could take their liberty if they've committed a crime, but don't take their dignity. Don't take their manhood. Don't let that be taken either,
Yeah.
And we look for that. We look for these stories so we can expose them. And look what just happened in Alabama. A couple of prison guards just tried to murder a couple of prisoners. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, that happens a lot. So
yeah,
you just don't hear about it as much as like maybe the Alabama thing, but they murdered 2 inmates when I was in prison in Florida in confinement. They sprayed him with mace, and let him stay in the cell and didn't give him a shower in time, and he choked on the mace and couldn't breathe, and then they just rule it, congestion or whatever it is they say it is, but they have a lawsuit against them for that. So it's an ongoing problem.
Fascinating interview you did with Domi, the other white Dominican. I'm a white Dominican as well.
The Latin King. Yeah,
I just did his show today too. So
yeah, and stay tuned, you guys. Watch for the Stone Sailor on Domi's channel. Also, what's Domi's channel?
King Domi TV.
King Domi TV. Right on.
Yeah, good dude. Getting out, doing real good things. He's trying to get housing, and the fact that he rent somewhere. The fact that he's got a record. They don't even want to rent this guy an apartment and shit. It's ridiculous. Like, where do you want him to live?
He's trying, and people do their best to do better and get out of there and not end up back in there again.
Yeah.
And I got to commend you, Josh, for I see the intro on your video. It says self-made, and you're standing in front of a nice German automobile there.
Yeah.
And you're about to get married. So what do you have going on in your re-entry life?
So, man, I've been out since 2014, and it wasn't easy when I first got out because background checks, and unfortunately for me, I'm a certified personal trainer. I did that in gyms for a while for corporate, and I had a guy that owned a gym and hired me, and then when he was supposed to pay me, he just didn't pay me, and he told me I was a felon and no one would believe me. So good luck, basically. And that's when I said, like, I'm done with this. I'm going to create a YouTube channel and I'm going to expose all of this. And that's what I did. I put a episode out on that guy and what happened. And I've only had it for like 5.5 months, and I have 4,100 subscribers. I hit over 300,000 views. So people are watching because people can relate. Everybody knows a felon, like whether it's in your family or it's a friend. And if they're trying to do the right thing, you really notice the struggle because, so, like you were saying, the government and society makes it hard. Like when you get sentenced to 5 years and you do the 5 years, it should be done, out of there. Yeah. It's not. It stays with you for life, and it never goes away, and people judge you for that.
Yeah, the thing to which you get desensitized. I always say, why would anybody want to be a prison guard? You're going into jail and you're seeing all those atrocities also. You're just on the other side of the bar. Yeah. So, I mean, you're both traumatized from what you've seen in there. And Rob, you went to war.
Well, officers get PTSD. Most of the officers I worked with had PTSD. They'd done that job for an extended period of time. I mean, it cuts, to bring that kind of mentality home. Some of these guys brought it home with them. Yeah. They would they would yell at their kids like they were friggin' not, like they were inmates yelling at inmates and shit, and
or handcuff their girlfriend and keep
like that crazy fucking guy. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah. I had a question about that interview with Domi you had, Josh. What is Unforgiven?
So Unforgiven is a white gang in the Florida Department. It was created like in the Florida Department of Corrections, and they're not huge, but their numbers are starting to get bigger. And
okay,
but honestly, man, in Florida, white boys aren't really running anything. Like unless you're like I didn't have any problems when I went because I was on a routine. I worked out every day, and anytime someone tried me, I instantly, responded with violence, because if you don't, man, there's just so much things that go on in there. And if they know they can try you, they're going to keep trying you.
Absolutely. It's a prodigious environment. It's kill or be killed, no doubt. You find it in prison, you to survive in prison, you go to prison for a couple of years, and if you stood up and you survived in there and you fought for yours, when you come home, I guarantee you're going to have some kind of PTSD. I guarantee it. Because you're always expecting someone to pounce on you and everything. I would see the guys when they would bring them from other institutions, and they would come in, and how when they walk into the dorm, how they put their back against the wall, and they just kind of look like they're totally ready. They go to the bathroom. They always have one pant leg, in the pants, that way if there's a rumble, they can get off the toilet and be ready. And they bring that shit home with them too.
Yeah, with the PTSD, man, like that shit affected me, and I'll tell you how. So when I met my fiance, I met her parents, and we used to go over there all the time for dinner and to hang out. And there was like it affected me with like emotions, because I became so desensitized to like normal emotions, and it was just basically violence, sleep. And when I was around people that don't have those, those things going on in their head, they're like, what's wrong with you? Why do you always look like you're spaced out? And it's just because for me, I'm constantly thinking about what people are saying, where they're at, what they're doing. Now, over time that passes, but in the beginning, it was kind of like adjusting back that, like Rob was saying, I can have people at my back and not have to worry. And, so it took a while, but I think I'm finally like good now.
Yeah, good.
I get you. It's funny he brought that up, because when I was at his house, I had the privilege of meeting his fiance, and she was talking to my fiance, and she said, he cleans. He's always cleaning. And I was laughing, and I'm like, yeah, those dudes, when they come home, they clean everything. They are clean. I mean, as soon as you pick up a cup, it's like, shh,
It's a really dirty environment.
They bring with them.
So you're compelled to clean because it's so dirty in there, right?
Yeah. I'm a clean freak, man. I have OCD.
Most of them are in there.
Well, welcome out. I'm glad that you're, doing well and getting ready to, share your life with someone else. You have that dedication. You have that rock when you get home. It's like no matter what happens outside, you go over there and give her a kiss and not get thrown down the stairs. That's a comfortable. It's I heard a guy say it's like getting a color television. You never want to go back to black and white.
Yeah, that's true. That's all there is in there is black and white.
Right. Yeah, and that's another thing. So you cleared that up. Unforgiven is white group, and I remember Domi saying that they don't get a lot of respect in jails down here. It's more black and Latino, right?
Hey, yeah, it's I'll give you a perfect example. When I got to the prison I was at, there was the guy that slept next to me, and he was known as a booty bandit, like a predator, like looking for, soft little white boys to take advantage of. And in prison, there's gunners, and they gun the woman officers or the nurses or the chaplain lady. And
tell them what gunning is first, Josh.
Gunning in prison, it's all over, but it's when an inmate, there will be a female officer working the dorm, and they'll see her in the officer station, and they'll either go take a shower, or they'll go in the day room, and they will literally jack off to the female officer because they're so like, I think they're predators, man. You're basically raping somebody when you're doing that. There's just there's no physical touch. So this guy was gunning a female officer right next to me, like in the bunk next to me. And I got in a fight, and I ended up beating him up, and it was a black dude. And when I got out of confinement for that fight, the Unforgiven approached me, and they're like, hey man, like, I see you're bumping, and I want, are you down to join? And like I wasn't, because I saw all the other unforgiven gang members and they weren't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they were letting people try and take advantage of them. They weren't sticking up for themselves. So they really just recruit to get numbers. But when it all comes down to it, if a war breaks out, half of them or 3/4 of them aren't going to do anything. And I don't want to be associated with somebody like that, because then I inherit their problems with other people they have, when I could just stay a neutron and be cool with everybody and do my own thing on my time. Not
so
like,
neutron
hey,
is the way to go, huh?
yeah, like, hey, bro, here's a knife. Go stab him. Well, you got the knife. Why don't you go stab him? And they won't, because they're just not living like that. They want to find weak-minded people that, you know, that will do whatever they want them to do. And that's just, I'm not a push button, if that makes any sense.
And that happens to a lot a lot of guys. I mean, I never heard of them in the feds, Unforgiven, but someone like, for instance, the guys like the ABTs, the Aryan Brotherhood Texas, there's not a lot of them, but when they have to get down, they get down, and they will beat you up, they will cut you, they will do whatever they got to do. So they don't fuck around, those guys. Yep.
But the AB's not really in state like that. Now there are, I'm not saying all of them. There's some that are really living like that, and you know, they're ready to go whenever. But it's just different in Florida, I think, with state versus federal. And then when you go out to Cali, like you really have white boys out there that are doing their thing, but it's few and far between in Florida. So
yeah.
And
prisons did you go to here, or what prison?
I went to Orlando, which is a reception center. I was a permanent there. I went to Lake Butler, which is another reception / medical camp that I stayed there for a little bit. And then I landed at the Gulf, which is in the panhandle of Florida. And that's considered Region 1. And up there, man, like that's the last place you want to go to prison. When I was leaving to go to the Gulf, all of us were trying to figure out by the files where we were going, and the officer's like, man, you don't want to know where you guys are going. I'm like, where? And then he told us the Gulf, and it's in Weehawken, Florida. And when you get off the bus at Gulf, the redneck, like country boy, you know, guards are like, welcome to Weehawken, Florida, and we gon' hit you. That's what they say to you right when you get off the bus. So, and they're not lying.
They're not hiding it either. They're just right there.
It's crazy too, Josh. Tell them how in these small towns in Florida, I don't see it a lot in the feds, but in Florida, in the state, you got fathers, sons, brother-in-laws, all working at the same institution. Their family, generations of people.
Yeah, so in Florida, all the officers live in a trailer park next to the prison, rent-free, that they get when they work at the prison. So if you go up against one officer, that could be the captain's niece, cousin, aunt, or whoever. So now you put yourself in a position to have problems not with one officer, but the whole compound, because in one way, shape, or form, they're related, or they've been working together for 25 years. And a lot of situations like that happen, and that's where, the deaths and, them shipping people to get them from around there because they are causing too many problems and they can't handle them, or whatever the case is. But they're the biggest gang in the United States.
Sure.
Yes, 34 correctional officers and employees were suspended at a female state prison in New Jersey in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You hear about that?
Yeah, and at Lowell in Florida.
Gosh. Have you seen Jordan Cahill's channel?
I think I have, yeah.
Cahill, she is a tough cookie, and she knows how to talk, man. What's
her channel?
If you look up Jordan Cahill, she changed the name of her channel a couple times. I don't know what it is now. But if you look up Jordan Cahill, it should be there. What's up, Jersey Watcher? Welcome aboard. Let me take a minute. Accountability.
Kayhill.
I think it's Cay.
Cay. Okay.
Yeah, and she talks about how ugly girls get pretty girls to do stuff to get the guards' attention, or else
Yeah, they're making them have sex, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
raping them.
the girls talk about how much they could sell the cigarettes for, that they just had to do a small sexual favor, and the guard brags about how he got a sexual favor just for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, well, there was women doing that at the camp I was at. I mean, they had a modality program, which was like drug abuse programs and stuff. And the lady got caught bringing in like 9 phones, a carton of cigarettes. And so that's everywhere, but not like the sex part. That's more in the women's prisons in Florida because they're treated like shit, man.
we had a little female camp, adjacent camp at Coleman, and they were locking up male officers every so often for sex with inmates. They were investigating them or straight up locking them up. Coming right there, FBI, lock them up.
Well,
yeah, I actually have
that in Lowell who they called out so many times and they never did anything, and now he got busted for some child stuff, and finally they arrested him. Thank God.
He's a deviant. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have an episode on my YouTube. It's I hooked up with a prison guard, and there was this woman guard that was trying. Yeah, she was trying to get with me, and I just, man, she was just too busted, bro. I couldn't do it. And when I left the prison, like 2 years later, she ended up getting arrested and fired because she was having sex with 2 inmates and going to church with their mom on the weekend, and was helping. Yeah, it was helping raise legal fees for the dude's attorney to help get him out. So,
oh man, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had, hey, check this out. We had a female officer, right? She was screwing one of the inmates, and when the inmate got out, listen to how dumb they are. He puts her address down to his PO, his release address. When the PO shows up to do a spot inspection on the house, she's looking around with a flashlight and crosses it and goes through a closet and sees Federal Bureau of Prisons uniform, and then reports it. And that she got busted. She got fired, everything. I don't think they criminally prosecuted her, but she had about 15, 16 years and this inmate was living with her, but he was so stupid he put her address down for his release address.
That's crazy.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah. Stupid.
Yep. I've heard so many stories, but what do you think was the most what are the best and worst things that you saw in there, Josh?
I don't know about the best other than like walking out of there being free.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
I mean, I would say, when I was in confinement, I saw them torture inmates. Like there was a guy that was in there, and he was, they do ghost trays. So they pass trays through your food flat for you to eat at each meal. And they would just give this guy a tray, but no food on it. And the guy would be like, "Where's my food?" And they're like, "What do you mean? It's on the camera. We gave you the tray."
Yeah.
It's not good and it can't see. And then he started bucking, and then they came to his door. They sprayed him with mace. They went in and literally beat him to the point like he was crying, screaming, like, and you're like hearing and seeing this. And the captain that went in there and was kicking him in the head when he was on the ground came out into the dorm, and we're all in our cells, and he's standing in the middle of the dorm like this saying, "Who wants some? Open your fucking mouth and I'll give it to you like I gave it to him." And no one said a word. And this guy's still on the ground crying, bleeding, and he's just taunting all of us, and we can't do anything. Like we can't. You know what I'm saying? What are we going to do? I mean, we can
tell this story right now, right here. That's what you can do.
Yeah, you tell your story now, but right then and there, you be quiet because and the thing is, like, what a freaking thug! Like, he's the biggest thug of all. He's acting like, and this guy's the captain in corrections.
You said he got maced, but you all get maced. When one gets maced, that thing spreads all over.
Oh, even the officers get it. Everybody gets it.
Yeah, it goes through the vents. So you got to like take your shirt off, you wet it in the sink, and you wrap it around your face because that'll help, you being able to breathe. But really, it only helps like, 40% or something like that. You're still off.
And then you get a cold shower after that. You said it. Don't act up in the wintertime. It's the worst.
Oh, yeah. Well, in the winter, you go out of your cell on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays cuffed up to the shower. And I would get in the shower. It's winter. There's no AC. There's no heat. So it's, 20 degrees in North Florida. And right when you get in the shower and you hit the water on, it goes for 10 seconds. And then the officer working that lets you into the shower goes to the water heater and cuts the water heater off, and it's ice cold, and he's sitting there like, oh, you better hurry up with that shower.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. It's all mindfuck.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, there was a guy who was boiled alive down in South Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to do an episode on that guy.
Yeah, Catherine Fernandez Rundle let him, boil in there. She covered it all up, and 27 years as the state attorney.
Yeah.
And she's never brought a cop up on charges.
And they don't get arrested, man. That's the crazy part. Like, they get away with so much.
Absolute immunity. That's what we have to pull.
They don't have
that.
Yep.
So you got 4,100 subscribers. I hope this gets you more. I hope, anybody who's watching, I have people watching from Australia and Ireland, and they actually get a lot of stuff done even from over there. They'll make the phone calls, or they'll write the emails, to who needs to hear them. And there's a guy, he's in Australia now, but he used to live here, and he knows senators and he knows other people, and he'll see this and be like, I've never called on you to do anything, but if you're watching, man, this is the time. These people, you already said what jails and prisons you went to. You were at Coleman, right, Rob? That's where you
I was at Coleman. Yeah, the feds.
And that's where exactly?
That's in Central Florida, Ocala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but you did training up in Atlanta, didn't you?
Yeah, that's where they sent me to the de-escalation instructor course.
Right on. That's
how I learned how to sweet talk you.
Isn't that the place that Rogue Nation, James Madison Audits, and I audited up in Atlanta, the ominous looking place?
Yes, it's exactly that place.
Yeah. I remember pulling up and saying, I don't ever want to go in there. So
it's a historical landmark. It's a historical landmark, that is. That was here for like the Civil War, dude.
Where Beetlejuice was born, right?
How do I put a link in here? They're asking for a link or something.
Oh, link?
Yeah, how do you do that?
Mods, if you can look up DOC TV 813s and share his link, please. Let me see if I can do that.
Yeah.
So
cool, man.
I also heard Domi talking about how when he hooked up with the Latino gang, they hooked him up with like stamps for free, and they don't expect anything back. It's not kind of I gave you a stamp. Now you got to give me.
Yeah, the Latin, the Spanish culture in prison, man. You guys all look out for each other. Like when there's a new Spanish guy in the dorm, like who all the other Spanish guys like go over to him. They're like, hey, man, you can have this and this until your money comes on. And, if you're hungry, you can get a soup. They're really the only ethnic group in Florida that is like that. Like for a white boy walking into a dorm, all the other white people are like, oh, we ain't giving him shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and the same with, African-American, Black, they kind of do it like that too. But the Spanish, man, like if you went to prison, Chris Reese, you'd be all right because you're Dominican. So
yeah,
look out for you.
Hey, but he's a Latin king too, and they're real big on that too. The whole family thing,
Latin king.
Huh? Domi, right?
Not a Latin king.
No,
right?
Domi, not you. I'm talking about. Domi.
The Latin king. Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up right next to a bunch of Latin kings, and 22 of them got arrested in one day, and RICO acted all together just because one of them was caught on video, stealing some sneakers. Two of them were his brothers. They were my friends. They were all my friends. I was trying to, talk him into going to college, and one of them did. He clipped out of the math part. He was doing really well, and he just sat on the bench at the park with his brother, and they all got roped in one day.
Yeah, well, that RICO law gets everybody. They can get anybody on that.
Yeah, but yeah, Latin King Park down in Miami.
And that's what That's what I meant by being Latin. Especially if you're going to prison of Latin kings, they also being, when you get there, the Latin people look out for one another more. He's right.
Yeah, definitely, man.
GA says, Stone Sailor, what you know about that RSO?
Oh, I'm using it right now, dog. That's the Rick Simpson oil.
Nice.
Cartridge.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate everybody too in the comments that went and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate you. I know without, people doing that, none of this would be possible. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Yeah, and you could come back anytime whenever you want to tell more stories. I know you got a big day tomorrow. We all do. Even if you don't have a girlfriend, you got to do something tomorrow. Love yourself.
Yeah, man. Well, we're good. I can go for a little bit longer if you want.
Yes, please. But that's what I was gonna say. Even if you don't have to go right now, come back anytime, man. And tell as many stories as you want. We pretty much we don't have a structure here. We just shoot the shit and.
I think somebody was asking in the comments, Becky O, if there's segregation in jails, and the answer to that is no. There's no segregation anywhere.
Oh, you mean segregation, meaning like the inmates segregate themselves? Like that's a black TV, that's a black phone, and that's a white phone. I thought that kind of segregation.
Yeah, in state though, they don't do that.
They don't. Okay, because in the feds they don't sell up. I mean, guys that aren't the same race don't sell up.
Yeah, it's not, man. In Florida, they'll put a blood into the room with a GD or a king into the room with a Zoe. You know what I mean? So
they just want shit to happen. They want shit to pop.
Yeah, exactly.
See, we don't in the feds. They don't do that. I'll say that. I mean, we don't. When you go in there and you sit down with the counselor and stuff, automatically, if you're in a gang, whatever, he's going to put you with someone in your own gang or your own race, because we don't want to make the unit a butcher shop. You know what I'm saying?
There was a couple guys fighting over a transvestite with boobs.
Yeah,
that's true. I have seen that.
Wow.
Yeah, we talked about that.
The warden had to get rid of her. She disrupted the whole compound too much. She was a disruption. They were fighting, wanting to kill each other over this woman.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of violence comes from that in prison. Like, guys hooking up with guys, and then they catch feelings, and they literally have like a relationship together, and there's 1,000 other guys in the prison too. So when some new guy comes in and they're trying to get with that guy, then it causes problems.
Yeah, and that woman I was talking about, she loved every second of it.
Yeah,
they were.
I know.
They were coming to my door like, "Hey man, I got some food for my girl." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! You're not in this dorm. Get out of here!" Because they're trying from other. Like, I'm like, this ain't no delivery friggin' joint. They're coming from other units to try to bring her food.
Yeah,
we have a friend in the community who is transgender, and she would not want to be in that situation, no matter how good you guys make it.
Yeah, of course not. I know that. I'm just saying that the ones that are there, some wield power there.
Yeah. Hang on. Actually, we got her in the basement here. Maddie, welcome aboard.
Hi, guys. Good evening. I am fangirling out right now, Stone Sailor. I think you've seen my comments on there, Maddie Madness. I absolutely love your videos. They motivate me. I do a morning workout every single morning. To you, sir.
Thank you, God bless you. Thank you, man.
My father was a CB. He sends his regards.
I saw your father. When you do your exercise, I saw your father. You were taking, I did. I did.
Yeah, my father sends his regards to, sailor to sailor.
Please send him mine. Thank you. You honor me so much. Thank you.
And I got one more that I can send to you. I'm one of the very few people that can do it. But EOG, the epic old guy, was a puddle jumper, man. And I'm sure that he would totally approve of you, man. You're dangerously intelligent.
Yeah, EOG was an amazing dude. And I gotta let you guys see what Maddie is capable of over here. Don't get her twisted. and if EOG was there, he would have backed her up. That guy, he stays in the background. He's epic old guy. He'll just wait in the background. We do an audit. A cop starts losing his shit, and we're just trying to explain to him, hey, look, relax. And the old guy walks up. He's like, what's going on over here? Why are you guys acting this way? Makes the cop feel super stupid, because when he's tangled up in the one-on-one, he doesn't realize how bad he looks to outsiders until epic old guy would walk up. But yeah,
he's gonna realize it more when he watches it too on YouTube when he gets home.
Yeah, check this out. This is let me share the audio also.
Sure, he's kicking himself in the ass for that. Hey, hello to my sister Gail in South Philly. Listen, love you, sis.
Hi, Gail.
Sorry, I screwed up. I should have said that at the beginning.
Right now, I'm not here to talk to you. Go handle your business, sir. Sir, I am on the easement. Get out of here, or I'm going to hold you liable under the First Amendment, Chapter 21, Title 42, United States Code, Section 1983, for deprivation by intimidation. Get your ass back in the car, motherfucker. Fuck you. Look, this is my answer to you. Fuck you.
So that's Maddie. That's who we have on the show tonight. Also.
Oh, I love it.
I don't back down. I don't give an inch. My dad told me when you're right, and you do not give these tyrants an ounce. I got fined. I was found guilty on this for improper parking, right? Even though the video evidence shows that I parked properly, I have to appeal this. Now, if I wasn't of indigent status, I would have had to pay $400 for the appeal costs.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it would have been cheaper just to pay the $200 for the fines, right? But then you get found guilty,
they
win.
Make it so. Yeah, so when you win, you really lose. That's what they like to make it rig it that way.
They did it to a paralegal. That's what they just did to a paralegal.
Yeah, you let that one deputy have it in front of the Ford dealership, like Dopey Tripod said too. That was one of the most famous.
Yeah, that's one of my most famous. That one, and they tried to intimidate and they failed.
You bodied him.
Yeah, I body cops left and right. I had a cop in California. Was it California or Las Vegas? I think it might have been Las Vegas. I had a cop in Las Vegas tell me, "Ma'am, I'm intimidated by you."
Yeah, that's a fact. Look, sea to shining sea. Maddie has done this. She's gone all over.
7 years. I've been in this for 7 years.
And you haven't gone to jail, right, or prison, right?
I've never. This is the first year that they actually had enough balls to do something stupid.
Right.
And I'm gonna change my YouTube channel about it too, because I'm getting ready to get into ultralight helicopters and ultralight aircraft, and they're gonna fund my hobby.
Right on.
Okay. Good
all right,
stuff,
so
good stuff.
But anyway,
what would happen to Maddie if she ended up in prison? What's your assessment? What do you think?
Mine or his?
Yeah,
both of you. Because she was really nervous about it when she was like, I don't want to go back there. I was talking to her from jail that one night, and I said,
I don't do well in lockups. My anxiety goes so bad.
I think when you get in there, you would just request to be protective custody, and then they would put you there if you have anxiety and stuff like that, or that if you feel you'd be preyed upon or something like that, and if you didn't and you went out to general population. Hopefully, an officer would keep an eye on you and maybe know you really shouldn't, see how the winds are blowing in there and should look out for you and say, okay, we got to make sure she's okay and put her in segregation.
I'd be the one, you know how
with protective custody, you guys were talking about that the other day, and they pretty much bring everything to them in the cell, right? It's somebody like who committed an atrocious crime against a child or something. Those people have stuff brought to them, right?
Yeah. Yes, they do. Yeah.
I would be the one that's like, you know how the stairs come down from either side? I'd be the one that's hiding underneath the stairs, just by myself. Leave me the fuck alone, and I'll leave you alone. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to get to know you. I'm not trying to be your best friend, and I don't want to learn about your life history. Just leave me alone.
I have a nickname.
And get me the fuck out of here.
First day, they called me Shitty McShitty Pants because I'd shit my pants.
I would, yes, absolutely. It would either be that or my anxiety would go to the point with the fetal alcohol, fetal cocaine syndrome, where I'd fall down in seizures.
Well,
oh my goodness.
TV or Rob, would that be a good plan for me to just shit my pants on the first day?
I think you'd be okay, bro. I think you'd be fine. I think you'd be fine. I can see you working in a law library, man, getting guys out and shit. And
hey, that's what
making all kinds of. That's your hustle. What do you think, Josh?
It might be rough, honestly. Might have it rough, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna keep my ass out of there. But
and law libraries and stuff like that, helping people, I would definitely. I mean, that's what I do now. That's my activism now. I go out and I quote these laws, and I quote, the technical procedures that are going to happen in court, so that it goes out there. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just letting you know that in California, they have a Bain Act, and this is what it is. And I went out to California, and I did some stuff on the Bain Act.
We had Richard Minkiff on here before, and the last 11 years he spent out of the 20-something he did was in the law library. And that's what he does now. He works for, he's the head paralegal, and he helps people in their reentry and how to get the heck out, too.
Well, and you don't want to get started on what's his name in Colorado. They won't even let him out in general population anymore.
Who's that?
What's his name?
Eric Brandt?
Yeah, Eric Brandt.
Yeah, we had Eric Brandt on our last show. That was an epic show.
That's the man right there.
That guy's dangerously intelligent.
DOC TV, I saw you wearing a T-shirt that said dope free, or what was it?
Oh, Dopeless. It's a clothing company my friend made to help recovering addicts.
Okay.
Trying to get back on their feet.
Yeah. My apologies to any of you guys who are watching and are triggered by any images here, but we hope you stay the course on recovery. Some things are good for some people, definitely. Some things are not.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at successful reentries into society usually work good when you have, like I saw with Josh, the dynamic where he's got family support behind him. I think all that stuff, as far as that young running around crazy shit's behind him. He's matured now. He realizes it. He's got a good woman in his corner, and all that stuff comes together. He's centered. It takes a good support network like that. It really helps a great deal from what I've seen.
Yeah, you can count on us for anything also, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to live a normal, peaceful life and have a family and do the right thing, man.
And a YouTube channel.
I hope you get that. I hope you get that.
YouTube, man.
Yeah, YouTube's great. YouTube is a great outlet now, especially, a lot of people don't know what to do in this economy or anything. Hey, Google is paying.
Yeah, right.
Just start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and not only that, but a stream is unlimited. It's not like we're talking about a limited number of acres of property.
Right, and
so everybody's going on everyone's show.
You mentioned limited. A lot of people think they have there's feast or famine mentality. A lot of people have the famine mentality in our community, thinking that there are only so many subscribers, there are only so many videos that people want to watch. There's a whole planet of people watching this out there, and you could have 1,000 different auditors. You could have 1,000 different former prisoners, and you're going to hear all those different stories. That's the beautiful thing about this medium, and you want to know how we can make changes is by telling these stories, by leaving this document of what happened out there so people can watch it and see and remember and be like, even if it's 5 years from now, holy crap, that captain called people on while he maced and beat somebody. Find out who that guy was. Let's find out who this guy is. Action. What's up, Maddie?
Another way we can do this is we got a 98.7% conviction rate in this country because people take plea deals. The best way we can fight that is to fight every single charge and always appeal. Take them to the appeal.
Yeah, and there are different things you could do as a patriot. You could join the military, right? You could vote, or you could serve jury duty. And when you serve jury duty, remember that you are the person that has the power. You, not the judge. The judge is just there handling things. But you can say not guilty, even if they prove beyond the shadow of the doubt that that person is guilty. If there's no victim, there's no crime, and you could still say not guilty.
Or jury nullify it.
Yeah. That's called jury nullification.
And that's why I rail so hard against career prosecutors, because I believe they're a corrupt, dishonest class. They're win at all costs. They don't care about justice. All they care about is convictions. Right. And they they have a buffet style criminal justice system in this country where they make everything illegal. Then they get to pick and choose what laws they want to enforce and on who they want to enforce them on. But see, they start the game out as everything's illegal. And it's these career prosecutors, we need to remove their absolute immunity. We have qualified immunity, they have absolute. They can absolutely ruin your life, and you can't absolutely do nothing to them.
Yep. The justice that they have is just us, meaning them.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. I gotta get some sleep, you guys. But I appreciate you guys bringing me on this live stream. And if whoever's watching, man, go check out DOC TV 813. You won't be disappointed.
I'll share this on my wall too, Doc TV. It was a pleasure meeting you, sir.
All right, you guys.
Thank you very much, Josh.
All right, bro. No problem. Nice meeting you, bro.
It's an open invitation. And I've watched your channel and I've seen plenty of great interviews on there. So please, if you want to see how it's really supposed to be done, stop watching mine. Go watch his. Look at that studio.
You're good, man. You're good. All right, I appreciate it, man. It was nice meeting you guys, and you guys have a good night.
Hey, if I can ever do anything, let me know. Have a good one.
All right.
So the justice that they're talking about is just us, meaning just them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's just us. That's what it is. And if you're not part of the team, if you're not part of the squad, if you're not licking the boot and tasting the leather, then you're not part of the team.
Yeah.
Well, what they do is, and I tell people, when you start out at the bottom, you come in. From that point forward, you're being tested. Now, what I mean by being tested is your management is looking down at all these new recruits and saying, which one of these guys is going to be a team player? And the ones that they feel they promote through the ranks. The ones that they don't, they leave them there. So then when you're there and you're at the bottom, you really don't have much power, But as people that get promoted are over you and they have more power and influence. So they make sure they handpick their predecessors and their successors.
Yeah, as you can see in the comments, Leslie Sylvan, thanks for being here always. She's sharing Susan Bassey's fight against corrupt DAs and prosecutors and judges. Susan Bassey is someone who San Joaquin Valley, Wolfie Gladly, one of my favorites, N2 Film, all just met up with her outside of a courtroom one day. And she had, I think she had her broken finger at that point where one of the bailiffs had snatched the phone out of her hand and broke her finger. And as he's holding her away, he's like trying to swipe through her phone and like get stuff off her phone. She has privileged info on there. And he had just broken her hand too. Wow. If you watch this, it makes me sick to my stomach. And she did not take it lightly.
That's the one you sent me, wasn't it, right?
I think someone asked, or someone told her or left a message saying, like, she's just being Bassey. You're Susan Bassey. So now that's a thing. Like, I try to be Bassey.
That was the video you sent me, right?
What did they do to that clown? Did they charge him with assault?
I don't know. If Susan is still in here, please let us know whatever happened to that guy.
Oh,
because
okay.
You know, I would not be shocked if nothing happened.
That's crazy, man.
She had a wrist broken. Wow, it was a wrist.
So,
is that a man or a woman in green?
Who?
I mean, Lewis. Come on. 2021, we're all adults. That's it. That's an American right there. Uncomfortable silence. Anyone?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. No, all you, bud. All you.
No, thanks again, Rob, for bringing on DOC TV 813. That guy, he's right here in Tampa, right? In the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah. And I was going through. I liked his work. I said, "Wow, I like this guy. You know, he looks really good." So I reached out and said, "Hey, man." And he said, "Let's do an interview." So I went on his show, and he had me on 2 times, part 1, part 2, and I hope to be back. And he's got a great family. He's getting married very soon. And I said, "You know what? Let's try to get him on Saturday Night Bang, baby. You know, let's make him a big star. Let's get him on our show."
Yeah. Corey's story just reminded me that deputy who you saw, who had handcuffed his girlfriend, the quote unquote good guy that we found, he was released on his own recognizance with 2 felonies, with false imprisonment and domestic battery, and they let him out on his own recognizance, no bail, no bond, or nothing.
That's the thing. This dude put on an acting performance when you were there filming. He should have won an Oscar. He was playing this, I'm a good cop. I'm here to help you. I have all, I look professional. I act professional. And sometimes those are the ones that fool everyone the most.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm not gonna lie. The whole time I was editing that video, I was just like, do I want to put this out? But then I just thought about what he did to his girlfriend. And of course, you know, I just felt like so disheartened, like really bad, like not like angry at him or like gloating, like haha, of course there's no such thing as a good cop, but just so disappointed. And
I was too. I was too, to be honest with you. Because I was like, you know what? Good. I'm so happy. You just gave me some hope, man. You gave me some hope. I love it. And then, hey, look, he's innocent till proven guilty, right? So, I mean, it doesn't look good, but I mean, he's entitled to his day in court. Let's see what happens. Did they show any pictures of his girlfriend? Anything like that?
No. I mean, the guy, you could see he messed up a couple times already. He hit a guy on his bike a few months earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. But yeah, I saw that.
But no, they didn't have anything with his girl on there. Like, I mean,
like what the damage was to her face or what have you,
isn't it?
Wow.
Marcy's law doesn't allow, the victim to be recorded.
Release the photos. Okay, unless she wants to.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Elaine, see? Elaine is, I think, on the other side of the Atlantic.
Where? On the other side of the pond?
Yeah.
Which part? England, Ireland?
I think she's from England.
England, huh? How are you?
Welcome
God
aboard.
save the Queen. I loved England when I was there.
So we talked about what it was kind of like what it's kind of like to be in there, but we never want to find out. This is the closest we want to get to that. And we've had a good show. Maddie, do you want to say anything else?
Are you familiar with what's going on, Rob, with what I'm battling right now?
No, I'm not. Please tell me.
Okay, so I was charged last December with wiretapping in Florida.
Okay.
I called.
Do you work for the CIA? Do you work? I'm just asking.
Okay, so what happened was. What happened was I purchased a motorcycle on my birthday in June, and I came across a stringer where I went out to try to make some money on a news story. State police officer battered me. It's on my channel. A state police officer battered me. I called up and I did a public records request for his service file, which under Tribune versus Canella in Florida cannot be redacted because there's no address, there's no nothing on it. It's supposed to be produced instantly to a news agency. And on the public records request, I quoted Bolt. I had permission from Rights Crispy as a correspondent. And I called up under Bolt and I said, I'm calling up as a journalist. I'm calling for his service file. You can clearly hear her deny me several times until I quoted Canella. And all of a sudden now, where would you like me to send him? Well, I guess a couple of weeks later, she went to the state's attorney and complained that I recorded it and put it on the internet, and she got called on her crap. And now she could no longer do her job to her maximum effectiveness because I've already shot holes in her whole theory. So she complained to the state attorney, and the state attorney didn't do their whole, I guess, homework or whatever, didn't do the whole thing. And now I'm charged. So we're going to see where it goes from here.
It required consent, right? Correct? In the state of Florida.
No, it's not. If you look at Adams v. State and McDonough v. Rundle, you have the right to even surreptitiously record them. You don't have to tell them you're recording.
Okay? Because she's a government. Because technically, she's an agent of the government.
Yes, right, sir.
Okay, I got you. Okay, interesting.
Well, that's what's going on with her. What's going on with you, Stone Sailor? Who? Somebody asked who made that graphic back there.
I have a secret artist. I can't divulge, but and the reason why is because he's got magical powers. He went into the Stone Sailor's brain and he completely just sucked that image out, and then he put it right here live on cam. He put it to life on canvas here, and I awesome. Couldn't believe it. Thank you, and man, he did a hell of a job.
I was going to say thanks again for bringing Josh on board, and thank you, Maddie, for sharing your story of what's going on. And Rob, you got any? When's your black belt? When are you going to do that?
I don't know. That's up to the instructor. I don't know. That's up to him. That's up to him when that happens. I just show up and do my 2 days and do the best I can out there on the mat. I'm just flopping around like a fish, but I'm not. I'm not engaging in any people. I'm not wrestling with anybody. I'm drilling soft moves. I'm not, I can't even walk unassisted. So I'm just laying on the mat like a beached whale, and I'm just basically drilling moves and just trying to, go light and just get a little sweat. Nothing hard, nothing strenuous. But I'm doing my weight. I'm doing my workouts, my physical therapy in the gym.
Tough as nails, man. You're tough as nails, dude. I can see you. If you would have stayed in, I could see you as a Navy SEAL easily. I could see you could easily push your way through it. You're tough as nails, man. You got that inner fight, man. You got that inner fight. I admire it. I salute it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Seriously speaking, you do have you're walking with the walker, but I saw you doing like some leg extensions, and it was pretty. Those are tough for me, and I'm,
Well, I mean, I didn't have too much weight on those, but I mean, I'm doing, I'm doing those. I'm doing squats. I'm squatting with my own body weight. I'm not putting it, I got a little rope. I'm going as far as I can to my knees and standing back up and doing that,
so significant improvement from, week to week, right?
Well, not like I used to. I've slowed down a little bit, you know, so not like I used to. It's slowed down. I was thinking about that the other day. It kind of got me down a little bit, but I'm okay, you know. So because who knows, I might slow down and then I might speed back up. You never know with me. So because I don't know, I'm just sitting back and I just waiting for this story of my life to just unfold.
Hey,
It's
you know, when you feel down, just look to us dickies. I'm one of your dickies, man. Just look to us dickies. Lean on us, man. I got you. Look at watch my stuff in the morning. I get out there with a bad back too. I was over 336 pounds down to 255. So
and that's what we have to do out there. We got to support each other, man, because
we do.
You know, look, I'm the Stone Sailor and everything. You see me on there, but there's some days I feel like the bummed out sailor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it
happens to all of us.
It does. It does. But just lean on those people that are supporting you in this on that YouTube, man. That's why you got it there. And we support you. And, you know, I leave you a positive comment, man. I look forward every time I get up in the morning. I'm like, did he put another one up? Hold on. Let me look. Stone Sailor. That's like the first one I look for, because that's my motivation in the morning, to watch you get up and say, hey, guys, watch this. I'm up out of the water and I'm standing up. What are you doing?
Yeah, you motivate me too. I told you that the other day. Like I saw that and I said I gotta get rid of this dad.
I did 2 hours that day. I went out and I pushed my bag and everything for 2 hours instead of 1 that day, because you did that.
You did an hour. You did an hour longer than me that day.
Yes. So, you know, we're pushing each other, man. I'm gonna challenge you too, man. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, both you and me, man. I'm gonna challenge you. You can give me messages on your video. I'll give you mine too. Hey, I'm gonna go hard tomorrow, man. You better be ready.
Right on.
I'm going hard tomorrow, man.
Thanks, bro.
That's gonna bring an end to our show. We got Valentine's Day tomorrow. You know, do some exercise before the big day tomorrow.
Thanks, Rex.
All right, guys.
Thanks for being here, Maddie. Thanks for being here, Rob. Stone Sailor. You're dismissed.
Thanks.
Later.
Thanks, guys. Thanks to everybody.
Thanks, man.
In the chat. Thanks, Liberty Freak, for being here. Ross Khan, Lone Wolf, MK Ultra, Dr. Sean Berry, and everyone else. Behind the scenes, Carolina. Thank you, guys. Take care.